I'm here today with Zach Ingrassi and Chris Templeton of Living on One. Living on One was created to provide opportunities for a new generation or their young generation to fight poverty effectively and build skills necessary to innovate new solutions. They currently focus on supporting carefully evaluated microfinance organizations that have and flexible financial services to the extreme poor. They do this by creating media that is educational and easily shareable, partnering with the Whole Planet Foundation to ensure 100% of the money raised for microfinance goes directly to empowering women borrowers around the world, and also by powering the student microfinance movement. Zach and Chris are also the stars and, I guess, narrators, co-producers of a film called Living on $1, which was released about a year ago and is a really unique story about the people of Guatemala and their experience of life and what we can learn from that. They'll share a little bit more about that in a minute. The film has actually been shown at two Jesuit universities, Boston College and Georgetown University, and may make some appearances at other institutions this fall. Zach and Chris are both graduates of Claremont McKenna College in Los Angeles, and they join us today from Los Angeles, California. So welcome, Zach and Chris. How are we doing?
Oh, well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
Great.
Doing well, thanks.
Good. Well, why don't we start off, and maybe if you guys can share a little bit about why you decided to make this documentary.
So Chris and I actually were both studying economics, and specifically economic development at Claremont McKenna College. And we kept hearing these overwhelming statistics that 1.1 billion people live on less than $1 a day. And growing up in Seattle, and Chris grew up in Connecticut, we came from communities where this was so far from our reality. So for us to actually understand what it truly means, what the reality of living at that level was, we felt like we needed a deeper understanding. So we decided to kind of throw ourselves in this situation. We decided to spend $1 a day ourselves for 2 months in a rural Guatemalan village for the summer between our sophomore and junior years of college. And we from the very beginning, we knew we'd never be able to truly replicate poverty, but there's a couple key aspects of it that we wanted to experience and then be able to tell the stories of our neighbors who are actually living at this level.
Great. Chris, did you want to add anything to that?
Sorry, Zach broke up a little bit, so I couldn't quite hear what he was saying, but really it was a wonderful experience just to get outside of the classroom and try to experience something firsthand, where we get to hear these statistics over and over again, but to really have a chance to build empathy and to meet someone who's living on $1 a day was a wonderful and unique experience, and now we're just very excited to be sharing it with the rest of the world.
That's great. We're going to watch a short clip, which you guys have selected from the trailer, and so let's give that a shot here. Here it goes.
Perfect.
It's not due to laziness that someone is poor. It's not due to a lack of ambition or a lack of intelligence.
It's because they lack things that we take advantage of every day. There is no going back now.
Let's get out, let's get out, let's get out.
That was highly illegal.
¿Por qué quieres aprender español?
Puede encontrar un trabajo.
Seems like this happens like once a day.
This life is incredibly, incredibly hard.
What can I do?
Each individual can affect and help a single other individual. We can change the world.
This end of the trailer, it speaks directly to one of the biggest takeaways that we came away from this experience, and that people aren't poor because they're lazy, because it's not that they don't want to improve their lives, it's really because they don't have access to things that we take advantage of every single day, be it clean water, healthcare, education, access to financial services as simple as a savings account or a small loan to improve their lives. But you know, they're living at a level that is incredibly difficult. But what we saw was that the poor are incredibly innovative. To survive on $1 a day, where they're paying not only for food but also for their children's education or these emergencies or natural disasters, they have to do things to support each other. And one of them is their community. These is such an incredible community that we were a part of. And the second is that they come up with informal tools. For example, a savings group to save up enough money with their friends for a stove, or these things that we were seeing that were truly amazing. And what we came away was that if you can provide these access to these resources like clean water or financial services, it can have a huge effect on the lives of the poor. And for us, that's incredibly empowering, because it means that if even a small, even if we give $128 for a microfinance loan, it can have a huge effect on someone's life, and we can all be a part of that solution.
And as you could see in some of the images in the trailer there, we were living in a small mud hut in Guatemala. We were working as radish farmers to try to emulate some of the day labor every day. And you could see some of the flea bites on Zach's stomach and his arms there. And really, when Zach mentions these small things that have a huge impact on someone living at that level, when you imagine, as a kid, to wake up in the morning and not have enough food to have the energy to go to school, or you didn't sleep in a bed that night, so you're not rested and being able to go and work in the fields, and these little things that before going we didn't realize how much of an impact they can really have. But in just 2 months, I lost 20 pounds living at that level, and from lack of nutrition, from getting Giardia, which is a parasite, and E. coli, a bacterial infection, and these things are really holding people back. These very simple elements of fixable problems, like providing clean water, providing enough nutrition to a family. And so we were just felt really empowered by the time that we left, that one, as Zach mentioned, people are amazingly innovative, and secondly, the solutions, the partial solutions that we can be a part of are simple and are possible. So it's really exciting.
That's great. And I mean, was there as you created this, was there something that you said, boy, I really hope people, if they get one thing, I hope they come to this understanding, or I hope they react or respond in this way? Was there something that you dreamed, you hoped that would cause people, or a way that people would react?
Yeah, so it's interesting because we went down there not expecting to make a full-length feature documentary. We just wanted an experience where we had a chance to really learn for ourselves what this reality meant, and we ended up just putting small YouTube videos online while we were down there, editing on our dirt floor, and we ended up having 700,000 people watch these YouTube videos. So we saw that this was a really powerful way to tell this story. We saw that a lot of people were connecting. But the one thing that the documentary does that the YouTube videos don't is I think it really shows how courageous and strong these people have to be in the face of such difficulty. And I think that that we can believe. I think that this is the most important thing, is that there is hope, that that solutions are possible and they are effective. And there was this one woman named Rosa who's in our film. And in the 6th grade had to drop out of school because her dad got very sick, and she had to help support the family. And she had this dream of becoming a nurse, and when she dropped out of school, it kind of destroyed everything. But eventually she ended up getting access to a small loan of $128, and with that small loan started a weaving business, a traditional weaving business where she was making traditional cloth, and with the profits from this new business, she was actually able to send herself back through school to pursue her dream of becoming a nurse. And now, 2 years later, when we were down there, she was in the 8th grade, the equivalent of the 8th grade, and this year just graduated the 10th grade and is starting a nursing program at a university nearby. And just seeing how that small access to credit had such a profound effect on her life is truly inspiring. So that's why we do work with Whole Planet Foundation, who does incredible work, and actually we're behind providing that loan to Rosa in this village that we were part of. And they work in 56 different countries, including the United States, where financial services are equally needed, although they look a little bit different. And now we're actually able to support Rosa directly. So I'm actually wearing one of Rosa's shirts. She makes the pockets on our shirts, and we sell them on online and directly support her, dream of becoming a nurse. And it's a much more interconnected world, and we can all be a part of that solution, which is really exciting.
That's great. That's great. And just as we kind of come to a close here, what are the ways that people can get involved with this, with Living on One and Living on $1? What are the ways that people can become more engaged? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the first thing that we really ask people to do is to book a screening of this film. And it's been, both Zach and I travel around the country and the world doing presentations at schools, universities, conferences.
We lost Chris there for a second. Let's see if we can.
Uh-oh. So I'll just kind of pick up where Chris left off. So we're doing these presentations and conferences. Sorry, Chris, we kind of lost you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thanks for just picking up there.
Yeah. So we're doing conferences and screenings, and we really feel like the most powerful way to see this film is with your community, alongside your fellow students, alongside your neighbors, and together to come together and make a difference. And right now you can book it anywhere in the world at livingon1.org/film. You can book Chris and I for public appearances throughout the fall. We're doing another special tour around that. And we've already seen just an incredible response from our peers and from so many different people from so many different ages. So we're really excited about that because the film is finally available for anyone. And then the second thing is we actually, alongside this film, we had an opportunity to use some of our unused footage and create a free education series specifically tailored for teachers. And it's 8 episodes that are 6 minutes long. And each episode focuses on a different issue, like clean water, education, financial services, employment. And it's much more about asking these critical questions and starting a conversation than it is about telling an answer. Because really we think that everyone should be delving deeper into these issues, and we're able to use our journey to create it, make sure that it's exciting, and then we use amazing hand-drawn animation to be able to dive into some more of these learning goals and achievements. And actually right now, so we're publicly launching that on YouTube in the fall, but it's also available exclusively for teachers right now on our Edmodo community. So if you go to edmodo.com/home #/publisher/living-on-one, you can actually join our community and have access as a teacher before anyone else during this summer. And you can just find us if you join edmodo.com, you can find us as a publisher there as well. So we're really excited about the combination of these community screenings and speaking engagements alongside this free education series to really have an impact on our generation and hopefully come together to support some of these innovative solutions.
That's wonderful. Great. And we can include some of those links for folks as well.
Perfect. Thanks.
Well, Chris and Zach, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today. This is such an exciting documentary in terms of its engaging people's reality and really helping people to reflect on that reality is a wonderful thing you've done with your passions and the skills of your partners that you've worked with, and your work with microfinance can empower people and provide support people in their process of creating a situation that is more livable for them. And so thank you so much for your work, and we hope that you can find ways to visit many of our partner schools, universities, and high schools, and maybe even the documentary might find its way to the Ignatian Family Teach-In for Justice sometime soon. So thanks so much for your time today, and good luck with your continued work. Okay?
Great. Thank you so much.